Sunday the 7th of May and we are on the FTSE 100. So let's have a quick recap of this market from last week in relation to our Sunday analysis, and then we'll have a look at the market for the trading week ahead. Okay, so from last week, we're really going over this whole area up here of the FTSE 100. And basically what we were doing was looking to sell into the market here, here. Coming into Friday, we had non-farm payroll. Basically what I said to subscribers was I won't be trading on the Friday. We had election results coming out of the UK whereby the Tories did very well. Non-farm payroll numbers, very good non-farm payroll numbers. And we also have that French election, so the second round of the French election coming up. And all of these things on the Friday drove the FTSE up on that strong bullish run. Now, coming into next week, so the first thing is still that French election. And when the markets reopen later on today, it's very likely we're going to see strong movements on the FTSE 100 one way or the other, depending on those results and depending on the reactions. So if we have a look at the FTSE 100, what we've basically done is from our key levels, so you can see the market testing at these levels. We went over these a number of times, testing at these levels. The market has touched, came down, touched, squeezed, and then broken out of an ascending triangle. So coming into next week, what are we looking at? Well, the first thing is up here toward this whole 350 level and higher. It's a good, strong level of resistance, as are the levels down below, really here and here. So what I'm going to be looking for is the potential for a false break. So we've created the ascending triangle. The market looks to have made a breakout move. Key levels of resistance right here. If this is a false break, these are great areas to watch for those reactions for the FTSE to start coming back down once again. Now up above on this market, we are up in toward the all-time highs. So whilst we're up at these levels, this is why I'm still happy to look for resistance basically. You know, these are key levels on this market and we've got lots of them as we start moving our way up. Just going to put them in quickly. Here and here. All of these levels, I'm more than happy to look for potential resistance. Now, if we do start to see that market breaking up strongly, and if we start to accept up in these levels rather than coming back down very strongly, then these levels down here become good potential support to look for those buy positions on the FTSE 100. Really, coming into next week, it is going to come down to this French election. There's no way to predict how this market is going to open, what it is going to do overnight on the Sunday, coming into the Monday. It may gap up, it may gap down, it may not gap at all. It may not gap at all, and then we'll have some very, very strong price swings. It just completely depends on what we see. Now, let me just get rid of this. Key levels of support for me still remain down at these levels right here. This area is, just mark these in, really down to here, taking in all these lows. This is key support right here. So what are we looking at? Let me just put this slanting line back in. If we do start to see a strong move down, a very strong move down, this is a good area to look for the potential bullish bounces. And then what we would look for was if the market started coming back up, reactions off of the sloping support and resistance. Because what you tend to see with these patterns, so with a triangle, any type of triangle pattern, let me just put this back in. No, sorry, that's not right. With any type of triangle patterns, whether it's an ascending triangle, descending triangle, or a regular triangle, what you tend to see, or the only way I really look to trade these, I never trade the breakouts because there's so many false breaks. with these patterns. However, if we do break and return, then it becomes a good area to look for the resistance here. If we break up, start to accept up in these levels, it becomes good for potential support right here. So that's the way I look at triangles, and I am going to be watching that coming into next week. As I have mentioned, though, it does just depend how the market reacts after we see what's going to come out of France. You know, the polls are fairly clear in what they're saying, but because we've had so many polls with incorrect information recently, over the last couple of years, they have been fairly useless. I'm sure a lot of them have been put out of a job, or they really should have been put out of a job. So there's a lot of people who don't, we don't really know what's going to happen. There's uncertainty in the markets. The markets don't like uncertainty. So until we see what's happening, there's no real way to tell which way this market's going to gap. If it's going to gap, which way it's going to react. So all I'm looking at is the key levels. We have really key support down here. More than happy to look down at these levels if we start to break down for the return. Up above, we have all of those resistance areas, where I'm more than happy to keep selling into this market. And really, first couple of days next week, I'm looking to see if we're accepting above the ascending triangle, or if it's a false break and we're coming back down. If it's a false break, it's likely we'll see the market attempting the break to the downside. If we do accept above, it becomes good levels to look for support, with the market turning more bullish. Okay, guys, so that's everything for today. I hope you all have a great trading week next week. As always, I'm James Orr, and thank you.